Hola, buenas tardes. Bienvenidos a todos. Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Abelardo de la Peña Jr. I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications here at La Plaza de Cultura y Arte. Welcome you to En Casa con la Plaza. En Casa con la Plaza are a series of presentations, demonstrations, conversations, and performances. If you're joining us on Zoom, please use the chat feature. You could ask questions throughout the demonstration, today's demonstration. If you're on Facebook, please do the same using the comment section. Also, we have the Q&A feature on Zoom, which hardly anybody ever uses, but that's okay. Let's see. Thanks to our sponsors, CVS Health, Aetna, Union Pacific Foundation, Kaiser Permanente, California Humanities, the National Endowment for the Humanities, and the Institute of Museum and Library Services. Before we get started, La Plaza is open every day except Tuesday from noon to 5 during the week, from 10 to 5 on weekends. La Tienda gift store is also open at the same time, so please bring your debit and or credit cards. Cash is okay too. Our exhibitions are almost all open. Alley starts here, of course, Calle Principal, Patriotism and Conflict, opening March 18th. We're getting it ready as we speak. LA Memo, Chicano art from 1972 to 1989. You heard it here first, but we'll be giving more information about that as we get closer. So you could check it out on our social media pages and also a newsletter that goes out this week. Y con eso, let me turn it over to our hostess, Jimena Martin, the Director of Programming and Culinary Arts. Please join us, Jimena. Big day today.
Buenas tardes, good afternoon. Yes, it is a big day. As you see, I'm not in my kitchen. I'm in our beautiful La Tiendita store here in Cocina. So switching gears, we're now opening up. We're actually having a little happy hour for all our folks, our chefs who are on our advisory board to make this vision possible. But so excited. So look on your calendars. We'll be opening up soon. Please come visit us. We're open Monday through Friday from 12 to 5, absolutely free. Come see our beautiful exhibition. We've had really nice write-ups and we have an amazing, beautiful store. So just in time for birthdays, special events, again, please come visit us with the beautiful exhibition and the store, and look out for upcoming cooking classes now that the mandates are slowing down and opening up for us to be able to have these cooking classes in persona. You know, during COVID times, you know, did a lot of research. Chef Laura Cruz. She has a great immigrant story to tell. She will be making carne en su jugo this afternoon, but please let me introduce you to Laura Cruz. Hola, Laura.
Hola.
Can you put on your, we can't, there she is.
Here we are.
Hi there. Thank you so much for joining us today. As I was saying, you know, I found you on Instagram. And through all these searches, and someone else had mentioned you, and so it was so nice to reach out to finally connect. And you know, everyone has a story in Cocina, and I can't wait to hear your story, Laura. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and your journey from immigrating in the United States and become to the chef you are today?
Sure. So my name is Laura Cruz. This is my partner Juan, and we are the Alma. So my story started at a pretty young age. Pretty much growing up, my mom, she enjoyed cooking. I think it was just like a natural instinct for me to enjoy being around her, even though I had no knowledge of cooking. And pretty much right after high school, maybe in 2008, I got the opportunity to work in a sushi kitchen. So it was something new. It was a beautiful challenge. I did it for 7 years. And then right after that, I just wanted to continue to grow, succeed, face different challenges. And I transferred into just different kitchens like Italians, Asian cooking. Never that I ever did Mexican food until I wanted to embrace it on my own. But that's how the Alma started. After 13 years, I always knew since the very beginning that I wanted to do my own thing at some point, and that hopefully one day I will be having a space of my own to share where everybody can be welcome, sit down, have a good time. It's more about family environment, friendly environment, just have a good time overall.
Thank you, but thank you. So please share your recipe with us.
Okay, so today we are going to be making a carne su jugo, and Juan will be introducing the dish for you.
All right, cool. Thank you. All right. So yeah, like Laura said, we're going to be making carne su jugo for you guys today. I hope you all enjoy it. Those of you that are familiar with it, I hope you can appreciate the recipe. If it's new to you, I hope you love it because it's one of our favorite dishes. It's one of my favorite dishes. Carne su jugo is a regional dish from the Guadalajara, Jalisco area. And it's a savory, meaty, tasty caldo. So it has beef, bacon, potatoes, beans, and a whole lot of good stuff.
And lemon.
So we're going to be doing that for you guys today.
That sounds so delicious and comforting, like all my favorite things in a bowl.
Yeah.
And then it can be enjoyed any time of the year since moms enjoy making caldos over the summer.
Oh.
Absolutely. But please do share.
Okay. So today I will be starting with some potatoes just because it takes a little bit more time. I have some pre-peel and I left them on water. The reason why I left my potatoes in water is because we wouldn't want our potatoes to oxidize. And if you were to leave them on water, they just stay nice and firm and white. What we like to do with the potatoes is to get like a nice small dice consistency. Since everything's going to be shared in one bite, along with beans, bacon, beef. We want everything to be bite sizes.
So Laura, you mentioned that besides catering, you also do occasional pop-ups. Where have you been? It's been your latest pop-ups?
Well, the latest pop-ups that I did, it was at my house with the help of my family and my friends joining me to support. So I did it like for 2 occasions during slow times during the pandemic. But then right after that, thankfully, I went back to work. And so now I just, I do full-time at my job, and then I still dedicate full-time at Del Alma. Actually, this was introduced to me by Juan. I was born in Mexico, but my family background, it's my dad is from Oaxaca, and my mother, she's from Veracruz. I was born in Matamoros, Tamaulipas, and I was brought here at the age of 3 years old. So to me, carne su jugo is something that I had never heard before until he introduced it to me, and I just fell in love with it. And I was like a must to enjoy and eat, but every time we have gone to different restaurants, sometimes I feel that they don't put so much love in it. So I had told Juan this, help me make it since you know the ingredients, you're familiar with it. Allow me to practice this dish, you know. So yeah, so I did it like a few times with him. We really liked the consistency that we got out of it, and now it's just like something that we have mastered and craft already.
Well, having
So
parents from, sorry, no, I was saying having parents from Oaxaca and from Veracruz, you say, must be interesting combinations of food in the house.
Totally. I grew up more with my Oaxaca roots, just because everybody from my father's family, it's here, and my mom, she's the only one from the United States. So I pretty much ate food from my aunts. My mom had to learn how to make Oaxaca food, and Veracruz is just something that I know very little. And I feel my mom, she learned more of my dad's culture than her own culture. But yeah, you know. We will be using also some pinto beans. This we pre-cooked just because it takes a little bit more of a longer time. We cooked this recipe with onions, garlic, cilantro stems, water. We let it cook for about an hour and a half. But if you're a little bit in a rush, you could just cook it on a pressure cooker for like 35 minutes, just to reduce some time. So potatoes are working, beans are already done. And the following ingredient that we will be cutting will be, oh no, let's make the salsa first.
Sounds good.
Okay. So let's get this one out of the way.
All right, so while she's preparing that, the ingredients for the salsa that go into this dish are very similar to a salsa verde. It's gonna be onion, some serranos, some tomatillo, garlic, and cilantro. We're gonna boil these ingredients, and then after, we're going to blend them with the fresh cilantro. Let's see.
And Juan, what's your culinary background? Who influenced you?
My culinary background is I own an apron and I like to eat. So I met Laura a few years ago at work, and we've had a few good conversations that led me to know that she's a good woman, she's a good person. So I wanted to spend more time with her, and I kind of just infused my life into hers. But not too long ago, sometime during the pandemic, when Laura and I started hanging out more, a little before that, I also had the idea of possibly opening up a food truck of my own, just so I can be a little more in charge of my work, my money, something where if I can work harder, it could potentially lead to perhaps more income. And I like dealing with people. I do customer service kind of work, so I do enjoy people, and I think I would be good for that. And when I was thinking about that, I thought, well, what would I sell? And me personally, I like these Guadalajara dishes, among other things. So the first things that I thought of were carne su jugo and tortas ahogadas. We've mastered that as well, thankfully. And so that's my culinary background. More than anything, I'm just Laura's assistant and her hype man. But Laura's the brains of this.
I like
Yeah,
that.
but he helps me out a lot. Like with so much going on, like work and the Alma, sometimes I get lost in my own thoughts where I'm like, what are we making next week? You know, help me out. And we kind of like guide ourselves also by the weather of the week. We try to work ahead. We have menus already kind of like preset, even like during summer or winter time. We try to keep things fresh or keep things a little bit hearty or slightly healthy. We just try to switch it up as much as we can.
For our non-Spanish speakers, can you be so kind, describe what del alma means?
Oh, del alma. Del alma. Del alma, I describe del alma as just something that you care about, something that it's authentic just because it means so much. And I feel with everything that I do, through work, through life, I do everything genuinely from my heart. I love what I do. And so I had just kept thinking of like names, like how can I walk into this journey? And it was just out of nowhere where the name just came, Del Alma. And I'm like, yeah, I think Del Alma is the one. I remember it was one of those nights where I just had like a lot of thoughts, and it was in the night. And when I thought about it, I'm like, that's the one. It was the journey that led to that name, you know, where I just try to keep things as simple, authentic, enjoyable, but made with love.
Se le nota. Se le nota.
The translation of that, for those that really don't know any Spanish, del alma pretty much translates to from the heart or from the soul. So like Laura said, she does everything with passion. So that's how that came to her.
Pretty much. So while we have our potatoes pretty much done, since we pre-cooked a little bit, I have my salsa working right now. And let's try to work on the bacon right now.
Sounds good.
Okay. So here for you, we have 1 pound of bacon. And then for meat, you could use any kind of meat like round bottom, flank steak, ribeye, ranchera.
Anything that's kind of like carne asada style, something a little thin. That's what we're going to be using.
You pretty much just want like a stock meat, since it's like a fast cooking. It's not something that has to get braised for like a long time. So for my bacon, I keep it pretty simple. I will be cutting them into small pieces, and then we're going to cook them in a little bit of water until they just start getting crispy. The reason why I add water, it's because it allows it to cook evenly. Starts evaporating all all the fat. And once it starts cooking evenly, it starts just getting nice and golden crispy. If I was to cook it directly like this, it's just going to get caramelized really fast, but it's not going to cook evenly.
Now, I know, I see you have the bacon there. If you don't have the real bacon at home, can you use like turkey bacon, or is it hickory bacon, or what do you suggest?
Absolutely. Well, traditionally it's made with like beef and bacon, but if we want to be a little bit more mindful of what we're eating, turkey bacon will definitely work out. As long as you just have a little bit of that natural fat in it. Turkey is lean, but it's very flavorful. So pretty much this is what I do. I just put enough water just to get it cooking, steaming, and then it's going to turn nice and golden. While that's going to be cooking, I will be starting with my meats. So right here, I have a round bottom meats. This, I will also be cutting it on bite sizes.
We have Sasha Lacour saying delicious.
Yes. Yeah, also, me personally, I like any meat that has a little bit of fat. Just because if we were to use something like tenderloin, it's not going to release its natural fat. Just in case if we don't have any chicken stock and we're replacing it with some beef bouillon, the natural fat of the meat is going to give it another layer of flavor.
Now, based on this recipe, but how many does it serve?
This will give me about 6 to 8 servings. And so right here I have 2 pounds of meat with 1 pound of bacon. How's the plaza, Cultura Plaza right now?
La Plaza is good. You know, since we've been with La Cocina opening up, we're having this little soft opening for our chef friends who help support us, you know, as advisory board members.
Okay.
And again, once we get better information from the county and the state, we'll be able to have in-person, no mask cooking classes. But we really just, we've been really careful and thoughtful, and just you know, have a safe class. So no rush, rather do it right than wait for something to happen. So we're just kind of waiting, but very eager to start.
Correct.
So when you put this together, it's more like, are you going to like braise it first or kind of sear it and grill it like a stew?
Yeah, so pretty much I will be cooking my meat on the natural fat that the bacon is going to eat. And then after that, once we let it cook, it's going to start releasing its natural juices. Once it has done that, today I will be using 4 cups of beef stock that I will be adding. And if you don't have beef stock, beef bouillon will work perfectly, or any kind of seasoning that you like. But the ingredients are pretty simple. It's just onion, garlic, salt, and pepper. Yeah, once we start cooking it, that's when we add the beef stock and the salsa verde that we're going to be blending. It's probably gets to cook like about 25 minutes, 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah, all these things that we're preparing, like the tomatillos, the serrano, all that, the bacon as well, and even the meat when it's rendering, because we're gonna lightly cook that on medium heat so it can render out its juices. All those processes take about 15 minutes. So if you prepare well ahead of time and everything's kind of ready to go, the prep will be about 15 minutes. And then after that, we're gonna let it simmer all together in a pot for about 20 to 25 minutes, just so all the flavors can come together. But once you get this down, it's not very time consuming. It's pretty cool, a quick go-to that's pretty delicious.
Have you ever had carne su jugo?
Yes, my in-laws. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but our fans just came on inside the kitchen. But yes, my in-laws, they're from Guadalajara, and they would have something similar to that, but they would put the beans in it. They would call it shish kebab in a pot. So it was like same idea like meat, but with onions and bell peppers in a pot, but in jugo.
Okay, so a little variation. That's cool because what we've noticed is whenever we have this at restaurants, it's rare that you see it with potato, with papa. And how I was introduced to it in Guadalajara from my family was with papa. Maybe it was just to make it more hearty, to make it stretch a little more, to fill everybody up. But that's how I grew up accustomed to it. And so that's how we're doing it. So yeah, the little variations, all that stuff is good, you know? And real quick, with Laura being a chef, she's usually the one introducing me to dishes, and she'll mention things that I don't know. I have no idea. But when I hit her with this, I was like, hey, carne su jugo, what do you know about that? She had no idea. So I felt good. So that happened with carne su jugo and with the tortas ahogadas. Same thing with that. Laura didn't know what that is. And that's understandable because it is regional, just like she surprises me with her dishes. I have no idea when she's making her Veracruzano dishes or her Oaxaca stuff. I'm like, okay, cool. But I beat her on that one time with the carne su jugo. So
That's the beauty of Mexican cuisine, that it's each state has its own real beauty, different variation. And like the big melting pot, or a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We kind of mix it up and make it more LA, but still the roots are from Mexico. Again, from immigration, people coming from different parts of Mexico, and kind of bringing in that different sazon, different thing to make things very unique, very Los Angeles.
Yes. Yeah, and I mean, and even so, like, even though we may have the same dish, everybody adds their own little twist to it. So it's nice when we're like, this one tastes a little bit different, or sometimes you eat a different dish that tastes to another dish that you already know, but it's just different with similar profile flavors.
I think the other thing is the beauty of trying to recreate these dishes from home here in Los Angeles. And with the variety of things that we find here, different cuts of meat, different vegetables, the different sazones. But again, it's bringing folks together and sharing those dishes and creating new memories.
Absolutely.
yeah, exactly. And well, two things. Yeah, that's exactly what this dish is for me. Yeah, ever since I was young, this was one of my favorite go-to dishes. So whenever we go to Guadalajara, that's where my dad's from. Yeah, first thing I would think of is carne su jugo. So I was just waiting for the day that my tias would say, hey, guys, come over, we're making carne su jugo. So whenever these smells hit my nose, like these scents, it just reminds me of that. So it's a beautiful thing. To me, you know, it takes me back to those memories. The other thing you were mentioning about being here in LA, it's cool because, yeah, it is a melting pot with everybody from all of our different states and all of our different countries. So if you like food or if you like trying new things, LA is the place, because we've tried all sorts of different foods, even from just different states of the same country, and everybody has their own little twist, like Laura said, like you mentioned. So being in LA in this food scene with all this food stuff around us, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, totally. I remember the first time I had introduced Juan to one of the Oaxaca platillos. It was, what did I give you? Was it the tlayudas?
Tlayudas.
I think it was tlayudas. Are you familiar with the tlayudas? Yeah. So when I had introduced it to him, he's like, what is this? A Mexican pizza? But it was more than just a Mexican pizza, just because it's a nicely crunchy, layers of avocado spread, bean puree.
The quesillo,
avocado.
the
Yes,
quesillo, that's
quesillo.
really delicious cheese, and then to put it together with a good salsa.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Very
It's
unique.
amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, whenever I have family coming over from Mexico because they went to go visit, I try to make sure that I ask them for tlayudas, because there's some markets that I had visit and I have bought in, but it's not the same consistency. Like, it's just, there's something about the tortilla of how they make it over there. It lasts longer, and the taste is just completely different. And they stay nice and crunchy, which I'm surprised, because the ones that they make here, they tend to get, I don't know why, they just mold very fast. Really, really, really fast. Okay, so I have my bacon right here. Hopefully it's gonna start getting crispy pretty soon. Right now, Juan, he's separating the ingredients of the salsa verde from the water, just so we could cool it down as soon as we can. I think I need to come up with an idea of how to make carne su jugo vegetarian, just so they can eat it in some way enjoyable, but slightly different.
Yeah.
I just became vegan not too long ago, about 6 months ago. And so I'm missing that meat stuff. So there's this thing called textured vegetable protein, TVP. And you can get it in different ways. You can get it, it's like crumbles. So what you do, you have to hydrate it. So you make a really tasty broth, and you let it hydrate there, I forget, for 20 minutes, half an hour. Then you take it out, squeeze it out, and then you put it in your sauce, and it really takes on the flavors of whatever you want to do. One night I did like a Moroccan stew with meat, and then I did a Mexican night, like a taco night. But there's other ones that are called curls that are a little bit, they're bigger. They're not crumbles, they're actually like pieces. And so that might be an idea if if you make the good green sauce, get that going. And then I don't know about the bacon. I can't fake the bacon if you're going to go vegan per se, or maybe use something lighter, or use avocado oil or just a different type of fat.
Yeah.
And then incorporate your textured protein. It's a soy base, and then put it into the sauce. And then maybe with the potatoes, maybe it'd be an alternative way.
Yeah. I think, me personally, just because bacon is a very flavorful bites, I think the closest that I could probably get just as something flavorful that probably will go very well will be maybe mushrooms, just because it's a little bit soft. Or maybe I could dehydrate a little bit of mushrooms just to give that a crunchy bite as well.
Yeah. Dehydrated mushrooms.
Yes.
But yeah, that would be interesting. I think we should look into that. And if we can come up with something, we can just send them over a little recipe, and they can just post that. But yeah, that would be good. So how's that been, being vegan for those months? You're not.
I'm for health reasons, I'm being vegan, but I don't trust. I miss my bacon. I miss my rare steak. But it's been good. It's been good.
Yeah.
It's a good. I cook a lot too, so I've learned a lot in this process. But I'm hoping in a year of doing this, I'll be able to have some of that, some of carne su jugo or some bacon, but moderation. But I'm enjoying the process. I've learned a lot and tried to make alternative ways of doing.
How's your energy? Like, have you noticed any improvements on like energy or anything like that, or just anything in general?
My skin, and I feel so much better, and my taste buds are on fire. I can taste so much more.
Wow.
It's pretty amazing. It really
So you're
is.
able to appreciate all the flavors.
And don't get me wrong, every once in a while I do cheat. I'll have a burger, I'll have something like that. But again, it's like every so often, but I just taste so much better. But then by going vegan, it's like finding other ways of doing so you can still eat. I love to eat. I love food. And
That's
just
good.
kind of incorporating it. And it's a challenge, but it's a good challenge. I'm happy doing it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool. Good stuff. Yeah, me, I mean, I grew up being a big meat eater and I still am, but for a few years I had an Indian roommate from India. And so he ate very little meat. So he had everybody in the house eating all his vegetarian dishes, and it just kind of surprised me that everything was so good. I didn't miss the meat. When I was eating his dishes, I was like, this is good. So, you know, good stuff. Yeah.
I'm
We'll
gonna
come
try
up-
your recipe, and I'll get back to you guys. I'll tag you guys if I do like garlic, but without the bacon, but at least with the sauce and with the potatoes.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I think it's something that I should try to work, just because even on our weekly chef special, I try to be mindful of everybody. We try to either add a vegetarian option dish or just make it meatless, just so that everybody can taste it. And I do try to make sure that I take my time to separate my vegetable stock or my chicken stock, my beef stock, just so there is no like, I hate to feel the guilt of like, oh, I'm trying to eat meat when that's the thing that they were looking for. You want to help me start blending this?
Mhm. All right, so now that the ingredients for the salsa have cooled a little bit, we're gonna go ahead and blend them. And again, it's the serrano, onion, tomatillo, garlic that were boiled, and we're gonna add in fresh cilantro and blend it. Thank you.
And then when you can, I'll be using more seeds.
Cool.
Yeah, even at home, my dad he has a green thumb, so he likes gardening. And there were certain things that my mom, she always be like hoja santa or epazote or just hierbitas that you don't find at the local store. Always make fun of me that I try to make things up, but I'm like, this is what gives it flavor.
She hits me with these new random made up ingredients and leaves, and I'm like, come on, Laura, come on, stop making things up. But I guess.
But yeah, pretty much, I have a lot of hoja santa in my house. I have epazote. Juan has an avocado tree, so whenever I need avocado leaves, I ask Juan to just get me some ahead of time, and then I do the same process of washing them, drying them, and then after that, just okay, so this is about to start getting crispy. So once I started the water, the water starts evaporating, and then right after that, that's when the natural fat starts coming out, and then this is when it's going to start getting crispy. And from here, just be mindful, just because it cooks pretty fast.
Cool. Yeah, the water in the bacon, that also was something new to me. Of course, I didn't know, but that was a tip that she suggested. And yeah, what I've noticed is that it does produce a more even cook. So yeah, all the bacon bits come out perfect.
Do you have any napkins by any chance?
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah, I remember the first time I made carne su jugo, it was a big time fail. It was bad. I knew the ingredients, I just didn't get the profile flavor of it. So it was a learning lesson, but I was like, I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna try to make sure that I do it how I need to
That's
do
a
it.
really great trick though about the water and the bacon, because you used to think, oh my God, water and the bacon's gonna splatter all over the place.
No, the water, it allows it to cook evenly. And then once the water has evaporated, that's when the natural fat of the bacon starts releasing, and it's just pretty much just going to get confit. So it's just gonna cook in its own fat.
Like carnitas. Like carnitas.
Right? Yes, pretty much.
All right, guys, I'm gonna be turning on the blender, so
Cover your ears.
oh, it should be good enough.
Awesome.
All right, so once you remove the bacon, we're gonna leave the bacon fat in there, and we're gonna be using that to cook the meat. If you see that it released a lot of fat, you could spoon out some of that, but you know, we're not vegan, so we're gonna leave that stuff in there, and we're gonna be cooking this beef in there, and it's gonna be on a medium to low heat. All we're trying to do is just allow this to release its juices. We don't necessarily need it to sear, and we don't necessarily need all the liquid in there to evaporate. We're just gonna be on a light heat.
So this is the consistency of the crispy bacon. Well, even color, and it's nice and golden brown. So here we are putting 2 pounds inside this pot with the bacon fat. And then to this, I will be adding some seasoning. This is just pretty much onion powder, garlic powder, parsley, cilantro, a little bit of chili pepper flakes. And this is like about 1.5 tablespoons for my beef seasoning. I will be putting in like about 1 teaspoon of black pepper, grounded already. And then let's say like about 2 teaspoons of salt, just because we already added the beef seasoning, it's already gonna have enough salt. Plus the bacon fat flavor, it's going to be more than enough. It's still going.
Cool. And once you guys get the ingredients down, you know, you guys can really play with it and just add in as much or as little as you like. The salts, you know, all the seasonings and stuff. So with us, a lot of times when we cook together, unless it's something that we're trying to have consistency, like for people that order, that's a little different. But whenever we're cooking for ourselves, we'll just look at the ingredients and then we just kind of throw in as much as we think it needs. And we just kind of taste it and go. So once you figure out these ingredients, yeah, it's really up to you. You can play with it. More tomatillo, less tomatillo, more serrano, less serrano, stuff like that. It's really up to your preference.
So right now I'm going to cover the pot so we could crank the process a little bit faster. So right now I have it at high heat, and hopefully within 5 minutes, it's going to start releasing its juices. Can I please ask you to get me some cilantro?
Yeah.
So through all the years that you've been cooking, what has been your favorite dish?
Oh, I have so many. So I like a lot of food, and I like different varieties. I really like this quesadillas. It's called mole amarillo or amarillito. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with it, but pretty much it's just a mole that is cooked with beef stock, masa, epazote, and chicken. And it's very stew, like pretty much like a mole. And it's very simple. It's a simple dish. It's tortillas handmade. You add a spread of mole amarillo, quesillo, and shredded chicken with some cilantro leaves. And then you just fold it and then just cocinarlos al comal until the quesadilla starts looking like como quemadita, a little bit burned. By the time we're gonna eat it, it's gonna be nice and crunchy, so it won't be like a soggy, soft quesadilla. It's just going to be more on the crunchy burnt side. Do you have the other knife by any chance?
Yep.
So Laura, I hope that once we get opened up here, I know you've been busy. I would love to have you come and do both you and Juan. I love the chemistry. But I
Thank
see
you.
there to be able to do something here and teach one of our classes together.
Absolutely, we would love to. I love cooking. Honestly, I love cooking. I stay cooking. Sometimes I tell Juan, like, give me a break. Whenever we go out of town, he gets to book hotels with kitchens. And so he tells me, Laura, are you ready for another adventure? And so I already know what it means. We're gonna be cooking again, but I don't know if it's just like comfort to just stay in the room or enjoy the patio or the resort and just eat from the room at whatever time. But whenever we find great places, we also like to step out and enjoy some great food. So right here I'm chopping some cilantro for our garnish. I pre-cut a little bit of cebolla, and this is some cilantro that it's also homegrown from my casa. And then this one, it's called criollo. So basically it's like organic. And I love it because everything's edible, from the stem to the flowers to the different texture of the cilantro that kind of looks like dill. It's just very flavorful. My lemons are also from my house, from my lemon tree. So I really, really try to take advantage of anything that I have at home. How's it going? Beautiful.
Yeah, that's pretty much good to go.
Nice.
All right, so most of the meat has gotten rid of its pink color. You see a lot of liquid there, hopefully. All the juices have been released. And at this time, it's gonna be ready for the salsa verde mix. And then from there, you can add more water and adjust. It's up to you if you want it more watery consistency or not. But the meat is ready for the salsa.
Okay, so from here, the dish is pretty much almost done. So it's just a matter of a little bit more patience. Even though I added my seasoning, here I have some beef stock that I made from home, from scratch. Out of, if you don't have any bones that you have to roast in the pan, you can also just get some pieces of beef chunks and just cook it. So this is 4 cups of beef stock. We have the beef stock, we have the beef inside, and here is our salsa verde, and it's going to be another 4 cups. And to this pot, we are going to be adding half of this crispy bacon. You guys want to hear the sound? Crispy, crispy, crispy chips.
Yeah, it looks nice. Good stuff.
And what is your favorite way of serving it? Like, over, what do you serve it over with tortillas? How do you guys do it?
Just the potato, beans, and tortillas. I think tortillas is a must for us at home. But yeah, it's just the potato, beans, the carne su jugo, and some tortillas.
And I saw a question, I believe something popped up about what size pot this is. Once we're finished here, I'll try to see if I can see what it says exactly. Laura, do you have a guess on this?
I would say maybe this is about 2 gallons. 2 gallons of water, or about a gallon and a half.
I look at, I think it's like a 9-quart pot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, pretty much this is going to cook within 25 to 35 minutes. If you want it faster, just keep it at high heat. So this is what we have going on. Everything is already put together. And it's just a matter of letting it boil. You want to make sure that it boils, like hard boil, to infuse all the flavors together. I'm excited. We're almost done with this carne su jugo. So I have another set that I cooked earlier today, just to keep it a little bit more smoother. We're going to plate it, garnish it, and just enjoy a good bite out of it.
So once you guys are plating it, we like you guys to hold it up, and then my compañera Berardo will take a photograph, and that will be like the face cover for our Instagram and our Facebook. And the show will live on forever. So a nice photograph and a nice smile. So when you guys are ready to plate, let us know, and then Berardo can take the photo.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So this is gonna live on forever.
Absolutely.
As
All
part
right.
of the books.
Well, hopefully it went smooth enough because this is our first time doing anything like this.
Ever.
So, yeah.
No, you guys have great chemistry on the camera. It's just like you're moving here and he's over here. It's almost like you can read each other's minds in the kitchen.
Yeah. Well, when I was walking through this journey with Juan, I told him, like, there's a lot of things that you will have to learn, but it's easy, you know. It's all about just us knowing how can I be helpful for you and how can you be helpful for me. And I feel like I'm the type of person that when I work, I just work in silence, like. But he already knows, like, what's next, what am I doing. He knows the style of how we work, so I like that, and that's something that I told him. Like, I want us to be able to work like in harmony without having to feel that we're not understanding each other.
Yeah, you know, that's one of the reasons why I enjoy cooking with her, because, well, for a few reasons. You know, the food is good. I like interacting with her, and it just makes things smoother between us. So things just get smoother. I don't know. I mean, I like to be helpful, so I just try to see what's going on, and I try to see what I can help with. And so the more time we spend together in the kitchen, the better that gets. So all these experiences, like, I appreciate them.
No, good chemistry. And here Rosibel Guzman says, great coordination with your presentation.
Thank you.
You
Appreciate
guys
it.
might be onto something here. Co-chefs together.
Yes. So this is the carne su jugo, pretty much. Right here. I'm not sure if you guys can get a nice glance out of it.
Are you gonna serve it in a bowl? Is that the?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I'll be. So, I mean, it's up to you if you guys want to be able to expand the broth or just have like that Mexican bowl, the one that is like super deep. But let's try to keep it a little bit more elegant.
Yeah, so we are gonna plate this in this dish, and normally this is either eaten just like that, just with a spoon, or you can just warm up some tortillas, roll them up, dip the tortillas in there, and pick up all that flavor, and just you know, have a good time and go to town.
Well, we have Holly Lynn Purser. She's saying, congratulations to you all. I love these Monday 3 p.m. shows like my telenovela, but way better.
I love it. That's amazing. Well, happy birthday to her. So let's do this.
Oof.
All right. So here is our diced potatoes that we boiled earlier. Here's our pinto beans that took about an hour and a half to cook previously. And right here we have our crispy bacon.
Yeah.
Is ready?
You smell that?
I wish you guys were here so we could just share this whole pot with you
Oh
guys.
my.
And so do we. This is the best part. And it's the most agonizing part because I could just see the
Yeah.
steam rising and
Yeah, it makes me want to break my vegan for the day, go over there. You know,
Yeah, guys, this dish, I don't know, the aromas are just amazing. It's super flavorful. So if you guys haven't had it, make it yourself or just go buy it at a restaurant. Try to look for a restaurant that specializes in cuisine from Jalisco. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think a restaurant in Guadalajara that sells this dish called Carne Garibaldi, I believe they have the record for the quickest service. And it's understandable because it's like a soup, but I think they're in the Guinness World Record. I think they still have that record for like the quickest service at a restaurant, Carne Garibaldi. But yeah, if you guys haven't had it, you guys need to definitely order this or make it yourself, and it's gonna be beautiful.
First time it can be time consuming, just like anything else. But once you get the flow of it, it's pretty easy, and it's just layered with a lot of good flavor. So this is going to be our dish. Juanito, would you like to present it with me? So here it is.
Juan, you need to be in there too. You guys
Yes.
have to be together so we can
Yes,
see both
please.
you guys.
All right, let's see what we can do.
All
There you
right,
go, there you
good.
go.
Big spot. Say cheese, please.
Cheese.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you. So this is carne su jugo, everybody. It's just bacon, beef, salsa verde broth with beef stock, your pinto beans, some diced potato, some crispy bacon, some diced onion, some organic cilantro, and your splash of lemon juice.
Oh, one last thing. I don't know if you mentioned it already, but when you're dicing the potato and when you're dicing the beef and the bacon, be mindful that the end result, you want it to be a perfect bite in every spoon. So if you have a big old piece of potato, your spoonful is just going to be a papa. And I mean, maybe you want that, but for carne su jugo, you don't. We keep the pieces tiny. So everything gets diced up and chopped up pretty small so you can produce that perfect bite.
Let's do it.
Go for it. Mix it up.
Real quick, before we gotta go, go ahead, take a bite. We have a viewer asking questions. What recommendations that serve food from Jalisco here in Los Angeles, off the top of your head?
So off the top of my head, the place that we really like for tortas ahogadas is gonna be La Chiva Loca. It's like, I think that might be Southgate, Gardendale area. It's on Imperial and Garfield. La Chiva Loca, I think it's like their #2 restaurant. That's where we really enjoy their tortas ahogadas. The salsas are good. The bread is original. I don't know if they bring it in from over there, but it's virote salado. So it's good for that. La Chiva Loca.
And then there's
Carne
also
Su Jugo.
the Pico place that we really like.
Oh, yeah. Man, what's their restaurant in LA? So there's a place in Paramount as well called Pica Tortas, and their tortas ahogadas as well are good. And they have a few other locations as well with different names, but they're associated.
I think
So
it's
Pica
Guadalajara
Torta
Tortas.
in Paramount.
And I think it's called Guadalajara Las Tortas or Tortas de Guadalajara. I think it's Tortas de Guadalajara. And I think that one is in the city of Huntington Park.
Yeah,
Is
around
it
there.
Santa Fe?
You know, I
think
wish,
it's
man, I wish I knew.
Santa Fe and Gage or Slauson or something like that.
Yeah. For Carne Su Jugo, unfortunately, we've had it at a few places, and we've noticed that the quality of ingredients are not as good as you can get at home. So, you know, you can definitely order it at any of these Jalisco restaurants, but try to make it yourself. You know, that way it's just delicious and you know what you're putting into it.
Mhm,
Sometimes the quality of ingredients are not as good as you would like them to be.
mhm.
You know, especially when you're a chef and you notice these things. So right away she's like, oh, this, and that. I'm like, okay.
But I mean, I like to try it all. If anything, I told Juan, like I enjoy going to mom and pop shops, other than just like elegance and fine dining restaurants, just because that's our comfort food, you know. And I feel like at the end of the day, we want to be able to continue our traditions, our food culture, support the small business, just because, you know, I think it's the right thing to do. But let's take a bite out of this.
All right, real quick. Well, show them how it looks mixed. So once you mix all the ingredients, this is how the dish will look.
Oh,
Nice and mixed.
beautiful.
And so, yeah, now the moment of truth.
Oh, you guys are taking a moment of truth and eating away at delicious dish there. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Laura, let us know what your Instagram handle is, where we can find you, if and when you have another pop-up, so folks can come and taste your delicious food. And again, de corazón, muchísimas gracias. You guys have been such a delight on the
Thank you.
camera. They've been really,
Thank
really
you.
nice. And again, muchísimas gracias, éxitos, adelante. And I hope once we open up kitchen to have you both come and teach this dish or something else from Guadalajara, from Jalisco, from Oaxaca.
Yeah.
So again, éxitos y adelante. Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you.
Con eso le paso- Go ahead.
For those that are not, if this is the first time that they're hearing about the Alma, you can find us in Instagram at DEL4LMA. So I had to write it a little bit different since the Alma was already taken, but it's pretty much a 4 with the first letter A.
Yeah.
It's
Cool. So yeah, thanks everybody for watching. And Rosabel, thanks for your comments.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Jimena. I know you got to go, so get going there. Thank you, Laura and Juan. Thank you. Linda Costa Galvan on Facebook said, love this. Found this when you had already started. Where can I find the schedule of upcoming live presentations? You can find them on our website, lapca.org, also on our Facebook. We're getting marched together. We're doing a little bit something different with our flyers and all that. So a little bit of paciencia, please. But next week we will have Juan Skype from Pluma Café.
Café de Oaxaca.
Nice.
Paisano.
There you go. So, and then Tirsa, the return of Tirsa Farah on the 14th, Chef Daniel Salcedo on the 21st, and then on the 28th, it's Cesar Chavez Day, so we'll be taking the day off. That's right, we're taking it easy. And if you go on Yelp, I wrote down, you know, Carne Su Jugo, they have quite a few suggestions, including a place called, let's see, which might be good, El Tapatío in Boyle Heights, La Casita Mexicana, of course, one of our favorite places, so you could give it a try there, but check out the recipe. We posted it on the Zoom. We'll be posting it when this will be on our YouTube page at La Plaza LA, on our Facebook page at La Plaza LA, and also on our website, lapca.org. So again, muchas gracias. Thank you for joining us. Everybody out there, we'll see you this Wednesday. We have the return of Dr. Gloria Arjona on En Casa con La Plaza with a wonderful presentation talking about our favorite Tejana singer, the late Selena, and it'll be talking about how she broke barriers, both musically and also sexually. And so please check it out. That's coming up this Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Thanks again to our sponsors, CalHum, National Endowment for the Humanities, Kaiser Permanente, CVS, and all the rest. So we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Gracias.
Bye, thank you.
Bye, everyone.